New York for their involvement in the disturbing new trend called knockout. And a New York state legislator is now drafting up a new bill to up the penalty for these crimes. A 25-year sentence is being proposed for teens 14 and up who play the game, film it, or even stand by and watch. Joining us now is the man behind the plan, New York State Assemblyman James Tedisco. Good morning, sir. James, you're asking for a tougher sentencing here. What's behind that?
Well, the fact of the matter is these aren't just kids playing some pranks, a little bit of vandalism. These are young people who are thugs. They're cowards. They're sneaking up on people, blindsiding them, sucker punching them, and not only destroying lives, but taking their lives in many instances. And we can't let kids use their youth as a way to get out of a serious and very violent series of incidents which are happening and continuing to expand. And I want to thank Fox to begin with for broaching the issue. It doesn't seem like the mainstream media really wants to pay any attention to it. They seem to have turned their back on this, and it is escalating right now. We have young people who are really gaining kudos and status in the gangs they're involved with by counting the number of knockouts they can make on innocent, honest, law-abiding citizens. And I appreciate the opportunity to talk about a bill I've sponsored to try to mitigate this and deter this violence.
Sure. You know, you do seem proactive on this. It's not being discussed as it should be. You seem to think it could escalate. What exactly are you proposing here for those involved in the knockout game?
Yeah, there are 3 points to this piece of legislation which I think are significant and will help to deter this activity. One, right now we have youthful offender status for many children who are under the age of 18, and that really is basically a slap on the wrist. A lot of these kids understand the law. They know maybe they'll get some community service if they're caught, or a couple months in a detention facility. Well, we can't accept that right now. There's got to be a serious crime. These kids, if you see the video, they're beating their chest, they're acting like big men. Well, big men should have a big law and a big penalty if they do this type of dastardly crime. The bill says that at any age you will not be able to use the youthful offender law to mitigate your sentence and have a reduced sentence. You'd be treated as an adult. This is too serious. This is not breaking windows or slashing tires or a little bit of vandalism. Secondly, we've moved the penalty from a D felony to a B felony, and that means 5 years at a minimum, 25 years as a maximum, and also they're being cajoled by the gang members around them. They may not be throwing the punch, but they're videotaping it, they're putting it on websites, they're tweeting it. Those individuals would know if they want to be a part of this, take part in this activity, they too would face these types of penalties. So we think it'll deter it in 2 ways. They'll realize there's going to be a serious penalty. They can't use youthful offender status to get off the hook. Secondly, if they do this crime, they're going to spend some serious time. They're going to be in jail for 5 years at a minimum, up to 25. We're going to get them off the streets. Look, I have a lot of compassion for maybe the family lives of some of these kids and young people who are doing this, but that can't go above and beyond protecting innocent, honest, law-abiding citizens. That's got to be our #1 goal. The rest of the societal issues we have to deal with. You know, we have to help these kids in some way. Obviously, they're involved in sociopathic behavior. We've got to try to turn the corner on that. But first and foremost, we've got to protect like the 78-year-old lady who was knocked out, or a 12-year-old kid last week, or the gentleman just this past weekend. We can't allow that to happen. This is a serious crime. There's got to be serious time for it, and I think this will be a deterrent.
Do you have hope that this will be passed? I mean, how much support do you have?
We're excited about it. We've got a primary sponsor in the Senate, Senator Hugh Farley. He's been there with the most seniority in the New York State Senate. He's a very effective legislator. And just this past weekend, we've got a Democrat who signed up on the bill. That's very significant because I'm outnumbered 4-1 in the New York State Assembly. We don't have the majority there. But this crosses demographic lines. This affects all of our constituents, and it may affect more of them as it's escalating.
James,
we think we have a good chance to pass it.
Well, we'll keep everybody
Thanks for the opportunity to be with you.
Hey, thanks for being with us this morning.
I appreciate that.
Next up on the